My eyes are bad. My eyesight. How are you guys? I just took a shower. So, welcome to my live, guys. Today is Sunday. As I promised that I'm going to come on live. This live is actually not, I don't know. I don't know why, because I'm filming on my laptop, and I don't know why the live chats are not available on this laptop. So unless I log in, unless I log in on my phone for me to see, let me see. For me to see if the conversation, if any of you is having a conversation with engaging in the live. Let me log on. I don't know. Am I gonna see the live really? I can't see it until it's uploaded. I can't see this live until it's uploaded. Let me go to the created studio. I don't know, guys. Since I have not been on YouTube for quite some time, I feel like things have really changed on this YouTube. I should be able to see me on live, but I can't. Let me check. Excuse me. I can't see. It's actually telling me not found. So I don't know what nowadays what YouTube is actually doing. Oh, let me see here. Download Glovo, order from the best restaurants in your city and discover. Yeah, I know. I figured it out. I figured it out. So now I can read from you from here. I'm seeing Irene. I'm seeing Barbara Owegi. Happy Easter. Even though me, I don't celebrate Easter. I don't celebrate. So, but I don't celebrate Christmas. I don't celebrate Easter. I don't celebrate. I have my reasons. I can't go into it right now. The reasons why. I'm still waiting for a couple of people to join. Yesterday, I tried to go on live. It's so hot here. I tried to go on live yesterday, but my internet was really bad. So it was not working. People were complaining that the video was buffing a lot. So I had to log off because it was not working. So I said, I promised people that I'm going to be coming on live today so that we can continue the continuation of that talk because I did not upload the video. It was bad video. So I said, let me just do a live on on a day like this, when I'm off and I'm not like at work, I'm not distracted. So you can ask me questions, we can talk, we can just engage and have the conversations, And I know that a couple of you guys have joined, because nowadays I know that people's attention span is very short. So even if you come on live and you want to watch interesting things, because you guys have TikTok, you have short videos here and there, so many people don't really care to sit watching long videos. But anyway, if you care to stay with me and for us to have a conversation and just like sort of catch up, to be honest, because I've not been around here for quite some time. At least now I'm keeping up with my videos, because the last video I did was 4 days ago. And today I felt like I want to make another video. So, yeah. I hope your Sunday is doing perfect. I'm at home, as you can see, the comfort of my home. Just, I need to get tea. But then again, tea is down. And I don't want to go down, man. I need to get tea, though. I need to ask, because my tea is already on the table. I just need to ask the kid to bring it to me. Let me do that. Give me a minute, guys. Kilian, niletee hiyo chai iko kwa meza. Auntie has not come back. No? Oh my goodness. I'm so clear here on my phone. I have two monitors. I'm so clear here on my phone, but this one is showing that it's getting a bit dark. So I have two monitors. Yes, 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 yes. Come in. I have two monitors because. How are you? Are you still watching TV? Can you come here? I want to send you. You see on the behind the TV, you see my white light, the one that is round like this. You know it? I remember that one. Can you go and bring it for me? And then you find a sweater and wear a sweater, okay? Alrighty then. Tea is here. I don't usually take tea. I only take tea on Sundays because I want to avoid sugar. So you see, my sister got me this mug, but it got spoiled. It used to actually go on here, and then the light used to be here, but I think my nanny kept it in water and it got spoiled. So now it doesn't really get things hot. It used to get things hot up to 8 hours, cold up to 8 hours. It's such a nice cup. I love it. So here we are again. Now we want to talk. We want to just have a conversation. I want to have the continuation of the video that I was talking to you guys yesterday, and I didn't finish that video. So let me wait for this kid to give me a ring light. Yes. It's not behind the TV. Okay. Go and put on sweater then. Then it's here in my room. Okay. So I don't take tea because I want to avoid sugar. Nowadays I'm trying. I don't really take tea throughout the week. And nowadays I'm very, very disciplined when it comes to eating, and my appetite has really like not gone as crazy as it used to be, because I gained a lot of weight, guys. I gained so much weight. The reason why I gained weight, I don't know. I think my metabolic has gone really slow because I don't really even eat too much. And I think it's and I think it's also because I come off work late, and when I come late, I eat late. Then finish eating and then go to bed. So I think I think you should, and I also used to just eat one meal a day. Nowadays I eat like sometimes lunch, and then I have to also eat supper. So that is 2 meals. I actually skip breakfast altogether. That's a ring light is on. Look at how the video is so clear with the ring light on. So nice. So you guys, how are you? Well. The elephant in the room. We are doing the continuation of the video, yesterday's video. And let me do this like this because I feel hot and I don't want it's like a little bit of shoulder situation going on. So where do I start? Where do I start? Last video, I told you guys that I was I wanted to embark on a journey of adoption journey, adopting a child. The reason why I'm adopting, because I know that a lot of people might ask me questions as to why am I adopting, why I'm not having my own biological child, and all these questions. The reason why I am adopting, it's because my fertility window has passed. What do I mean by that? I mean by saying that I got married 2 years ago, and I was already 40. I started trying to conceive when I was 38. So already when I was 38, I was already diagnosed with low ovarian reserve. So the reason why I'm talking about it is because I don't stigmatize myself, and it's not a big deal to me. Like, it doesn't bother me because everything happened for a reason. So to me, I don't mourn over it. Like, I don't get upset over it. Long time ago, when I found out that I had diminished ovarian reserve, and for those of you guys who don't know what that means, it means that your AMH level is very low. Like, it's almost undetectable. It's the lowest to the lowest, 0.0 something something. Like, that is undetectable. So when I was like 40, 41, right now I'm 43. So I was diagnosed with low ovarian reserve when I was 38. So you can imagine, that was the time that after coming back from flying, because I was working as a flight attendant and I wasn't married. But after, one of the reasons why I really wanted to quit working or to stop working, I had given myself up to 10 years of working as a flight attendant. But then I had planned to like sort of finish working after 10 years. Was also because I was really giving myself pressure, and I was really rushing my biological clock, and I was thinking that if I'm not married, and there is no way I can actually have child before I get married. So I was rushing to like sort of beat the biological clock. But by the time I was like going to the fertility clinic, because all along I was just always thinking that it's no big deal because my mom never had problem having children, and there is no fertility there's no infertility history in my family. So I was just like, it is what it is. Like, it's okay, I'm not going to struggle, or it's going to happen, because I was also seeing people that were having children even in their late 40s. So I was just buying time, to be honest. And plus, I had obligations to work and to pay off my loans. So I was really like, let me just say, chasing money fast and developing myself, establishing myself fast, because I'd rather not have a child, and I'd rather not be poor than rushing life to find things like to get a baby and stop having like the life that I envisioned myself having. Like, for example, my finances, or stop working and stop building this house that I'm in right now. So I just like chose work, to be honest. And also, plus, if I had found a husband before, then it could have happened earlier. But things happen for a reason. I did not find a husband then. And I just like, it just happened the way it happened. This is my life path, and this is how it is. So I learned not to question God, and I learned not to be sad at things that, like, all that is not given is never lost. So I learned not to beat up myself over it. So it doesn't bother me whatsoever nowadays. Long time when I found out that I had low ovarian reserve and there was a high probability that I might not have a child, I was really upset over it, and for a long time. Then I got over it. I said, I don't want to be depressed over this, because it's only going to give me depression and I'm going to be unwell. And let me just like let it go and let God be. And then I had also decided that I didn't want to get married. Reason being, I didn't want, the African culture. You have to have a baby once you're married. So most men pressure, family pressure, and especially the in-laws, where you married to, pressure and all that. So knowing my history, I said that if I was to get married, or I just didn't want to get married, to be honest, because I had my reasons. I had been feeling like there are no proper men nowadays, and I just don't want to get myself through that anyway. And I think I was so comfortable and with my space. I did not became very selfish, and I just wanted my space for myself, and I didn't want to like sort of, because I felt like if you had to get married, then a man had to tell you, like, for example, with the African men with their ego, they could tell you that I can't move into your house. You have to move in with me. And to me, that was not something that I was willing to give up. I was not willing to like move into a man's house. I'd rather he moves into my house, because I just didn't want, I want to be in a position where I know that I'm secure under my own roof, not where a man is feeling so, like, I don't know. That is just my own perception or my own opinion. Everyone have their own opinion, but for me, I had been so comfortable in my own space, doing my own things. I've been set in my way, and I'd rather not be told by a man, pack your things and go and leave my house. I'd rather stay in my house. Then if he's comfortable coming in and joining me, then well and good. So that was what happened. And I was just comfortable being by myself, really. And plus, the men that were attracted to me were like younger than me, and they were in their 30s, early 30s. And or even if I met men who were actually my age mate, most of them were married, and they were always sort of pretending not to be married. They were lying that they were married, so they were saying I'm single, yet they have wives. So I didn't want to go through the drama of dating here in Kenya. Like the soko ni chafu, that is what we usually say in our language. The market is like flooded by rubbish guys. That is what it means when they say soko ni chafu. So then afterwards, I was very comfortable. I had tried to conceive by myself solo because I was even ready to become a single mother by choice. And that didn't work. So I had settled. Guys, can you please like the video? You are 29 of you and only 4 people are liking. This is a very vulnerable video. I'm opening up to you guys, and you guys have to also show me that you guys are enjoying this podcast, and you also have to like sort of show me by showing thumbs up to the video. Otherwise, if you are getting bored and you are not engaging, then I'm not going to have this encouragement to continue giving you the videos. Engage on the comment section. Don't just sit there and let me talk by myself. Come on, guys, be nice to me. It's actually free to like a video. And nowadays, it's very not easy to find people who are open and vulnerable in this video, in this YouTube or in the social media space. Everybody want to print to you a picture perfect everything in their lives. So if you find people who are vulnerable and they want to really open up and share with you things that have been stigmatized and things that are swept down the under the rug, just appreciate that and engage with them and show them some love. So guys, where was I? So I didn't want to get married, to be honest. I just didn't. Okay, I had the notion of all men are dogs. I don't want. I had the dating men had like dating had just disappointed me big time. So I was not ready. I just didn't want to give up my space, my comfort, my freedom, and all that. And plus, the guys that I was meeting, they were younger, and most of the time they were like not really financially independent. They were just like, they want to become like a leech to me. They were asking for money. They were like really, because if they came to find out that I own a home, they automatically translate that to me having money. So they want to use me and dump me. Most men were just like that. So I just felt like it was very unfair. I'd rather be by myself because, guys, I still believe up to now that African men, most of them that I have come across, at least, they are not raised right, unfortunately. Like, this had given me I've had a lot of stories, women who are actually dating. The dating pool is just rubbish nowadays. People have no integrity, people have no moral standing, they are not morally upright, they don't have good family, they don't have what is it called? Their perception of family and marriage is really tainted. To an extent, they just don't respect women at all. So I just felt like I didn't want to go through that. I just wanted to be by myself. Then my husband came along. And for me, guys, I believe that whatever it is that you like, it's good to communicate. Like, talk about what is happening to you. Talk about, for example, me, I had sunshine tips and tricks. Hey, mama, hey, Roxy Sunshine. So I believe in talking to somebody you're dating. And I believe in like opening up and telling them, especially if you have a medical history when it comes to things like fertility, or just like health wise, you need to communicate to them. I don't believe that you just like sort of, I don't want somebody to feel like you trapped them or you brought them in just so that they can feel sorry for you, and then afterwards they find that you are who you are, and then they run away, or they start having this conflict with you of, why didn't you tell me, why did you lie to me? Like recently I saw this video on TikTok where a lady, like a guy had married a lady, a Nigerian lady, and this guy had like a child back in Nigeria. So the guy never opened up to this woman. So the woman lived, I think the woman might have sponsored him to come to the UK, So with the notion of he's a single man, never been married, never having children. So he went to UK, got married to this woman, and now they had babies. They have 3 kids, and they are raising these 3 kids. Then afterwards, this man starts talking to her about this niece that he loves, that is an orphan, blah blah blah, all these stories. Coming to find out that this niece is actually his daughter. So he actually orchestrated for this niece to come to the UK. But then the wife came to find out that the niece was the daughter, and then the hell broke loose. The wife just was so upset over that because the girl was already in the house in the UK, and this woman was just throwing tantrum, and she felt very betrayed, and she felt like, and she was just like really yelling and shouting and sending the girl away and telling her, you have to go, you have to come out of this, all that nonsense. So I just feel like it's good to be transparent. It's good to talk. It's good to not hide things, guys. Because if somebody accepts you, they accept you the way you are at the end of the day. So when I met my husband, I felt like my husband was quite young, My husband is like, we are like 9 years apart. Is it 9 or 8? We are 9 years apart. I'm 9 years older than my husband. So my husband is 34 and I am 43. So at first I thought that he was so young. I was like, oh, I said, no way. There's no way you are. And you're also like, for example, I was just feeling like, I just don't want a young person. I feel like with him being young, he's not where I am financially, and there's not going to be that a place where he's going to feel insecure with me being where I am, and moving into my house is going to be insecure. He's going to want to control me in one way or the other, or maybe control my finances or control the way I am and blah blah. And I had been comfortable with me being single and being in my own space. So I just was feeling like this is going to bring drama, and I just didn't want to get married. So I told him, you know what, me, I don't want to get married. I want us to just be friends, and I don't want to get married whatsoever, because I feel like getting married all together is just going to be, the paper is going to be there, and there's a lot of blah blah, and I just don't want to get myself into that. And plus, you need to sort your finances first. I don't feel like I want to get married with somebody who's not sort his finances. At least you need to be a bit of in my level to get married to me. Like, that was how I was thinking there. Then after some time, there's this lady, older lady, who was convincing me and was telling me, he's a very hardworking guy. There is no way, like, you don't need to stay by yourself. You don't have to find somebody who have a mansion, have a car, is financially and la la la. And plus, I told you guys that the market, the dating pool here is very grubbish. So she was right. Like, it's either you are single or you find a married man who's already established, or you marry somebody who is earning less than you, or even who is not like up there, who has not traveled and is not very financially up there. Just somebody who is hardworking and bringing in a little money in your household. So I sat down and I gave thought to it, and then he was like, you know what, me, I like you, I love you, blah blah, I want to marry you, blah blah, and all this. I'm not playing with you, I want to marry you, blah blah blah. And then when he started getting a bit serious, more serious than I thought, I told him that there is a very much high probability that I might not have a child, because I have doctor's report, and the report says blah 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 blah, the low ovarian reserve. And then plus my husband was like, it's okay, don't worry, you will have, you see even Sarah in the Bible. So that gave me the notion that my husband wanted to have a baby, of course. And then afterward he said, even if it happens that you don't have, I already have my own because he had kids from his previous relationship. So it was like I already have my own and my own two girls. It's fine. I've already seen my seeds. It's fine. It's no big deal, even if you have, but I know you will have. I know I am 100% sure you will have. Look at you. You look young. You are glowing. Your skin is good. You're healthy. Why wouldn't you have? This is my husband talking. Then I was like, I've told you. I know that you African men and your families and everybody usually pressure people into having children. And me, I've told you already. Me, I don't want pressure. If you're coming into my life to pressure me, I just want peace. I want peace in my life, no pressure. He was like, I'm gonna give you pressure. I'm not gonna give you pressure. I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna be with you. No worries, no rush, no blah blah. You just be yourself. You just, we take it one day at a time. We go with the flow. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, it's okay. Don't worry, my love. Blah blah blah. All this blah blah blah. When someone wants to woo you, they woo you. So then I thought to myself, I said, okay, he said he have children from previous relationship. So it's fine. If he have kids, he have kids. Then I was like, okay, fine, he have kids, but his kids are quite, like he has a teenage girl, like 13 years, and there's a 9 years. I think they are 9 or 10 years, and then 13 years. They are like big enough kids. So, and the kids are back in their country in Rwanda. So I was just like, we started dating. I gave my husband such a hard time. I was not really a yes type of a person. Like I agreed and I was like, okay, let's date. I gave him a hard time because to me, I felt like I was like, no, you know what? Just go for younger girls. Why would you come for me? I'm such an older person. I'm very much older than you. Just go for younger girls. You are still young. Go for. And then my husband also don't like younger people. My husband likes older. He's attracted to older women. So it's not, younger girls are not his thing. So then I was just like, okay, fine. Then one thing led to the other. And then we got married. And now 2 years down the line, there is no baby yet. There's no baby still. So I remember when I went to Rwanda, and of course, even before I went to Rwanda, his parents were asking, me indirectly about a baby, because we had been together for quite some time. By that time, they are expecting me to have a baby. And he was always brushing it off. So then I told him, you see, they are now starting asking. Remember the conversation we had before we got married? I told you that I was told by the doctor, and I have low ovarian reserve. The only way I can have a baby is via donor egg. But there is no way I'm going to go through the entire IVF process yet again. Yet I have gone through it before, and there was money that was, even IVF is not even 50-50. Like it's not even, there is like probably even, it's not, there is no high chances. If you are paying that kind of money and at least you've been given a higher percentage of conceiving, you would even pay and not feel anything. But there is, like, it's very less percentage. Like it's not even 50-50. It's like you just try and see if it happens. Yet you've thrown the money down the drain. So I told him, like, you know what? To me, to be honest, having a baby by somebody's egg is same as, to me, I feel like you already have your kids, right? And I don't have my own, right? You have kids to see, you have your children to see. Why do I have to get somebody to donate an egg so that I can have a baby? To me, I would rather just adopt. To me, it's not something that is, I'm not like, I don't have to experience pregnancy to feel like I'm a mother, I told him that. I told him I don't have to, like, really. And plus, I'm already 43 now. I'm going to be turning 44 next year. Why should I put my body through it? Like, I know that people even get pregnant even in their 50s. But it's not something that I want to put myself through. I felt like it didn't happen naturally. And it didn't happen when I was younger and I wanted it to happen. that is a sign that I'm not supposed to have one. Otherwise, if it was to happen, it could have just happened naturally without me spending all this money, even the money that I could want to save for my retirement, or even to buy my ancestral land, and build a house or a place where it's going to be my final resting place one day. Like, for example, even in this house, it cannot be your final resting place. You have to have an ancestral place. So I told him, to me, I have other priorities. I don't want to spend millions of money trying to get a baby, and then it's something that is not guaranteed. I'd rather save that money up towards buying a piece of land somewhere. I'd rather go through adoption. That is exactly what I told him. Then he was like, I'd rather we go through with it, because I'd rather you become pregnant. La, la, la. I told him it's not gonna happen. First of all, where is the finances? Are you going to fund it? Of course you will not, because you don't have that kind of money, and I don't have that kind of money either. So just stop having that conversation, because it's not gonna happen. So from then onwards, he was not giving me a hard time, of course, because he was just not giving me a hard time. Then we went to Rwanda, and then his family was like obviously saying that something might be wrong, because why is she not getting pregnant? Me, I've already told these people, I've already told my husband, and he knows. But with the African people, they always believe that somebody must have bewitched you, something is not right. People have babies even in their 50s. Then they don't know any scientific thing of saying at low ovarian reserve, or you're not producing enough eggs. They don't know that there are people who are even born with no eggs at all, even if they are having their periods. So to them, they are saying the fact that you're having your periods, there must be something who must have bewitched you. I'm like, bewitched what? I don't understand. Okay, so when we went, his parents obviously knew that something must have happened along the way. Someone bewitched me. So they were like, we have to try this herbal medication. So I was given this herbal medication to take. I told them, this is a waste of time, to be honest. This is a waste of time. These bitter things, I'm tired. I don't want to take these things. Anyway, I was forced to take these things, and I was like, out of respect to them, I said, let me just take them. Then I took, then nothing. They said you take, and then after like 2 months, you're going to be pregnant. Okay, nothing. So I was like, guys, don't bother. So even now, it's been like, now we are 2 years in marriage. Of course, they are still asking, my in-laws are asking, they're older people, and obviously they are more traditional, and they are more open, closed-minded. So they really don't understand the medical aspect of it all, or the doctor's report, or to them, they just say it's somebody mutually niroga, It's so cute and weird at the same time, because I don't know how to react over that. Then he said he keeps telling me, sometimes when he talks to the parents, they are always asking, they're always telling him, we are going to send medicine. They want me to take more medicine and more medicine. I'm like, I'm not taking any more medicine. I told my husband, you know what? You're the one who is having pressure. Me, I've checked out. I don't want it. Just let it go. Let it rest. It's okay. Let it rest. I am going to, then I told my husband I'm going to go through adoption. Then when I told him I'm going to go through adoption, he said, just think about it. Why don't we find a surrogate? I asked him, are you going to? So this is where the topic of the video. Then we started beefing over this. Because I told him, first of all, you need to have finances to go through everything that you're telling me. And I don't have that kind of money. What are you guys saying? You've been a while to see me. Happy to have you back. Following you before you came back to Kenya. Fashion Passion, nice to see you. So I told him, no, it's not gonna happen. Then he was like, let's just like sort of find a surrogate. Then he said, okay, so how is it going to go with that surrogate? Then he said, we can just like sort of, I told him it's very expensive. Going with surrogate, you have to actually go through the IVF route, because the surrogate, they have to actually give him injection, harvest her eggs, And then he said, there's no other way it can be done. So to him, it was like, just do it traditionally with that surrogate. I said, why? Why would you do it? Like, if it is very important for you, just go ahead and get married somewhere else. That is what I told him. I told him, just go ahead and get married other places. And I even removed my ring and I put it aside. I said, I'm not going to go through this conversation ever again. I don't want to hear this conversation ever again. For example, remember before we got married, I had a conversation with you and I told you exactly what you're getting yourself into. You got into it only for you to start having pressure and for you to go, even having this surrogate. Where is this coming from? So he wants a child. He wants to have a child. That is very understandably so. But then it cannot happen with me. Honestly, let's just be honest. There are things that you have to, you have to put them on the table and you have to talk about them. It's not gonna happen. So the only way for me I want to have a kid is through adoption. Then we had a briefing, we had a conversation, we talked the money aspect of it, the financial aspect of it, and it was not adding up. It was not gonna be enough, to go through the process and everything. So I only decided that for me, I'm gonna go through it the adoption way. I'm not going to carry any pregnancy. I'm not gonna do it. So I told him, very easy. If you want to have a child, there are other young girls. It's fine. I will not. My feelings will not be hurt that you left me because I couldn't give you a baby. If you that is the route that you want, just go ahead. I am allowing you to go ahead and get married, if it is very important for you. Then he changed tune. He said, I'm fine. I have babies already. If you're fine, I'm fine. I'm like, no, no, no. It's not like you are fine. You said you are not comfortable and you want a child, right? So if that is your case, then go ahead. Then I said, if you don't want, let's say for example, there is no way at you're gonna have a child out there and bring it into my house. That is not gonna happen. It's either you choose to go have a child with a woman, marry them, we divorce, everything happens for a reason. I accept my fate, and that's it. Otherwise, you have your own children, take care of your children. First of all, you need to take care of your current children for you to even want other children in. Take care of them, The money that you're having, the energy that you're having, find that energy and that money to take care of your children. As for me, I'm going to take care of my own adopted kid. I'm not going to tell you, I need your finances, I need this, I need this. I'm going to monetarily do that on my own behalf. You can be a father figure, you can be there as a father figure, but for me, I'm going to be responsible 100% for that child. No worries. Then when I told him that, he was just like, it's fine, because he was seeing that I was really like, if it's not happening, I don't want to have this conversation ever again. I don't want pressure. Remember, we spoke about it, and I don't want pressure. I'm not the only woman who has not have a biological kid. There are many women out there. But if it is important for you, just prioritize and sit down and think about it. If it is something that you're not willing to give up and you want to go get married out there, you're free to go. That is exactly what I said. You're free to go get married and have your own children. But if you are okay with me and you're okay with taking care of your own children that you already have, and then me taking care of my adopted child that I am going to have, then we are fine. We can continue going, because otherwise we don't really like sort of have like I don't really have like bad blood with my husband. We are not like in a place where we are like fighting constantly and always. No, I'm a very like I'm peaceful person, but I like people who use logic. I'm logical. I'm very logical in this marriage, but my husband is very illogical. He's very illogical. Like is very irrational and very illogical. So sometimes I want him to have some logic, but this is where we are very much two different people that have very much different mindset. According to me, I'm very straightforward and I say it as it is. Like for me, if I feel like you have to have some financial freedom. Even to bring a child into the world, You have to have some financial freedom. Like, for example, I'm not just gonna bring a child, like I'm just not gonna put my body through that, wasting money doing all this IVF and something that I'm sure is going to be time consuming, is gonna be emotionally consuming, and it's not something that is guaranteed. I'm not gonna do it. I've done it once, I'm not gonna do it twice. And this is my body, this is my choice. You come into it, you knew exactly what you're getting yourself into. Just the same way I took you in with your flaws, you should be able to accept me with all my flaws. So this morning we had a conversation. We had a very deep conversation. I told him I don't want to hear this conversation ever again because it's not going to happen. When you are marrying somebody who is past their fertility age, you have some things to consider. But then I actually told you that I'm past my fertility age. I'm past my fertility age. Are you sure you're going to be okay with it? And you pursued, and you were persistent, and you got into it. Now that you are into it, there is no looking back. Unless if you want to look back, then we are done. Why should we have this conversation over and over again? I don't want to do it. It's not going to happen. I don't have the finances to match it. So let's not even argue over it. Let's not talk about it. So to him, it was just like, why would you bring in a stranger child? I'm like, don't you know what adoption means? When you adopt a child, that child is not a stranger. For example, you were a stranger to me. I didn't know you. We just came to know each other when we are this age. At this age, you were a stranger to me. So the child that I'm going to bring into my home is going to be my child by law. So why would you call that child a stranger? And I told him, if your personality is going to change and you're going to view that child by stigmatizing that child, or maybe if you feel like you're not going to be ready, but that is what I want for myself, then just choose a struggle. Choose a struggle. It's either you're in or you're out. So the conversation was so much, what is it called, the conversation was very it was very very heated in the morning. It was very heated in the morning. I even like removed my ring and put it aside because I said it's important for you. Go have your woman, get her pregnant, have a child. For me, I'm going to adopt. I'm going to adopt a child, and I'm going to have my child. Otherwise, if it's not something, I'm saying it's not something you are into, then bye. It's okay. I understand you fully. I understand that's what you want, but it's not my fault at the end of the day. It's really not my fault. So, because at least me, I communicated beforehand. Because there are some women whom they having fertility issues, and they don't talk to their, for example, they don't say it. They don't say to their husbands. To these people, I don't understand why people usually think that if you are having periods, it means that you're fertile. You can have periods without being fertile. There is a lot of things that goes into somebody being pregnant. Everything has to be aligned. Everything. And if you see somebody has tried and it's not happened, it doesn't mean that somebody has bewitched them. It doesn't mean that. And actually, you have to look at your AMH. What does your AMH say? If it is non-detectable, where are you gonna? It means that you don't have eggs. So your uterine wall is just shedding itself. And that is why you see period. It doesn't mean that there was an egg that was already released. That is why you saw a period. So a lot of people need to get educated over this kind of things. And I should not get bothered, honestly. So do you guys have questions for me? Ask me questions. So I don't expect any more beefing from this marriage henceforth. And that is the reason why I said I don't want drama. Man, I don't want drama. Seems like you guys are not talking. You want me to end the video? You guys are not talking on the comment section. That is what I mean. So this morning he was telling me, okay, now I understand. I'm like, you say you understand, and then after some time again, you are going to open this same conversation. Choose your struggle, man. Come on. And then also remember that I am an asset to my husband. I am an asset. I'm not a liability to him. So again, he has to actually figure out and say, "Eh, this is my wife. I have things easy for me because this wife of mine worked hard before I met her, and now I don't have to worry about one, two, three. My wife is very like has made life so comfortable for me. So he has to actually consider a lot of things. It's either you choose a struggle or you choose to be with me. Like it is what it is. Hmm? This is how I come. Why can't you find a surrogate someone from the village? So surrogacy is not something that is legal in Kenya. Surrogacy is not something that is legal in Kenya. So you can actually have a child with somebody. You can. That will mean that my husband will naturally go to this person, and then they will naturally do the deed. And then why would I allow my husband to do that? Like he have kids already. Why would he do that? He have kids from his previous relationship. So why would he be with me and then go out there and do that to just have a kid? What is that for? Huh? So according to me, because it's not legal here in Kenya, you can only do it traditionally. But then why should I do that? I'd rather he moves out and then he marries whoever he wants to have a kid with. That is just my philosophy. Because I don't really find it logical. So that is the reason why if you are having a surrogate, it's not cheap as well. You have to take care of these people. And why would I have somebody to like sort of be with my husband to have my husband's baby? Yet my husband already have his children. Why should I do that? To me, it really doesn't make sense. Hmm? That is the reason why I don't go for the surrogate. And if you mean surrogate via IVF, like the modern way, not traditional way. Traditional way is I mean that he goes and sleeps with that woman, that surrogate, and then gets pregnant whatsoever. That is like I'm going to bring in a co-wife. That is exactly. And me, I'm not into polygamous relationship. I don't want a kid like that. That is the reason why I can just adopt. You know. So that is why I'm not into that. And plus, I have to like pay for that lady. You cannot just have somebody in the village and lure them and tell them, now I want you to carry my husband's seed. And then you lure them. People even in the rural village are very clever here in Kenya. They are very clever. You have to pay them a lot of money even. And then if you take somebody from the village, the elders will actually refuse and say that why would you make our daughter pregnant and then you refuse to marry her? They'll force this person to get married second wife. So why should I? And then I will be responsible for these people. Since financially things are not okay right now in my household, the business is not doing well right now. The economy has really crashed everything. So I'm going to be financially just for the sake of me. I want to have no, please. It's too much. I'm not gonna go through that. So it's not gonna happen. Uh-huh. So Lois is saying, but when you have to monitor her for 9 months and she must have a child through CS. Why should I do that? So Sarah Rising is saying that it's a good conversation. Tell us more about the fertility thing. So what do you want to know about the fertility thing? You have to ask me a specific question. Because on here on my channel I've really spoken about this fertility. What do you want to know? Tell me exactly what you want to know, because I have all the answers out of my research and out of just ask me a specific question. Adopted child deserves a nice mom like you. Soul Sister is saying that adopted child deserves exactly. I believe I could be possessed. I can be a nice mom. So simply because right now my nanny's daughter lives with us. She's been living here for close to 1 year, and I have no problem. My heart is just like okay with the child. I treat the child the same. I'm not hostile towards the child. I just treat her like my own child. Even if I go to the market and I see something nice, I buy for both of them, my sister and this child and my nephew. I am just treating them all the same. So I don't have a bad blood when it comes to this kid has been here since she came. She had been sick. That is the reason why we brought her to stay with us. And even my husband was against me bringing this kid from the beginning. But now he's very attached to this kid. He likes this kid. He loves this kid that just like his own child. Like every time the kid, like whenever we come back from work, the kids are like so excited. They are jumping up and down, and it warms his heart. He's happy because these kids are happy. These kids are loved and they are having a warm home and they are just okay. So he's happy over that, and I'm not complaining. So he shouldn't be complaining as well. So that is just my philosophy, to be honest. What did the doctors say to you? Is there any possibility you getting pregnant, or are you barren? Lois lies. Okay. Let me tell you. I don't consider myself barren. Okay? I'm not considering myself barren simply because I was never sexually active until I was in my late 30s, going on 40s. So, when you're considering yourself barren, is when you have been sexually active all through since you started your periods and you've never gotten pregnant. But I was never active for me to know if I was barren or not. Okay? Because I had been having my menses very normal. I had been ovulating very normal, but I had never tried to conceive for me to rule out whether I was barren or not. You understand? So I only went to a doctor when I was in my advanced maternal age. After 35, a woman's a woman's fertility declines rapidly after the age of 35. So I had already been past 35, heading to 40. When I went to the doctor to check my fertility, like sort of health. But the time I went, my AMH was at 1.23. I was told it was still okay. That was the time I did an IVF, but it did not pick. I had embryos I had eggs that were made into embryos. You understand? So my eggs were actually harvested and I was made embryos. But because on the same cycle of my IVF, I went through like on that, like my IVF was very rushed. I did my IVF in Europe and it was very rushed. Like right before I got out of the airline and then right before Corona hit, I went for my IVF. And they retracted 3 eggs. And with these 3 eggs, actually they told me that you have very low egg quality, like you are producing less eggs than usual. Somebody my age, because that time I was almost turning 40, I could have produced at least, the least I could have produced was at least 10, 5 in the lower end. But I only produced 3. So when actually the doctor, when I was being, when you're doing IVF, usually you're being monitored. They give you injections and then they go in to your uterus to see to your is it uterus, not real uterus. They go in to count the eggs as as they progress. I mean, as they give you injections to grow whichever eggs that you have. When you went to your luteal phase, okay, guys, let me let me go back a little bit. When you want to go through IVF, first and foremost, there are some tests that you have to do. And these tests will determine, the doctor will use these tests to see how much vials of medication they are supposed to inject you with. So, for example, if you are somebody with high AMH, it means that your egg count is high. So there are people who have, is it PCOS or what? There's PCOS and what else? There is something else. Polycystic ovarian syndrome and what else? There's something else. There is another something else. Somebody with this one usually have higher amount of egg count than usual. So they cannot. And then there's somebody, like, it depends with your age. There's somebody who could be 40 and their AMH is counting 6 or 7 or even more than that. That is abnormal. Because as you age, your AMH is supposed to be declining. That is your egg count. Okay? So if they see on your test, your blood test, where they test something called anti-malarial hormones, that is the egg count test. Sometimes they test it and they see, is it low or high? So when it is lower than usual, it means that your ovaries is aging, has aged rapidly than your age. So it means that you're producing less eggs that women your normal age should produce. So with my case, after doing all the fertility tests, they found out that I have low ovarian reserve, to mean that my egg count is very low. Okay? So the doctor told me that the only way you can have a high chance of getting pregnant is if you use a donor egg. Remember, that was when I went for my IVF, and the doctor suggested that because my tests indicate that I have low ovarian reserve, it means that I have eggs, but they are not enough for a woman my age. So they said that we can as well work with your eggs, but just in case your eggs doesn't work, it is good for you to buy another person's egg. So in this clinic where I had done my IVF, there was a lady's egg from Uganda that I was told that you can buy this lady's egg because she was only 23 when she donated her eggs there. These are the kids that the ladies who usually go to university in Europe, and then they don't have enough money. So sometimes they sell their eggs to facilitate their education in Europe. So this is how this girl donated her eggs. So there's a lot of students who donate their eggs, they donate their semen there, and the babies are made from these laboratories using their eggs. And they have pictures, you can see how she looks and everything. So I saw this Ugandan, she was a short, petite girl, very pretty girl. Then I was very confident in my own eggs. Again, I didn't have enough education and I was very ignorant. And I was looking into saying that, oh, my mother had children until she was later in age. I should not be having problems. Even if I have a low egg quality, they only need one egg to make a baby anyway. But remember, you could have less eggs, and the quality of those eggs really determine if you make a baby out of those eggs or not, or embryo out of those eggs or not. So in my case, I had embryos. They were dividing well. You know, when they harvest your embryos, for me, even when I was going through my IVF, before you start your IVF cycle, they have to go into your inside to see if everything is okay. When they were going to do all these tests and go into my insides, they saw that I had cyst. So we had to do something that is called I don't know what it's called in the medical term, but it's something to do with they need to drain those cysts before I go into starting stimulations. Because after they saw my eggs, I had like total of 3 to 4 eggs, but then the 4th egg was actually not an egg, it was a cyst. So the doctor saw a cyst in my ovary, so we had to stop the injection to start to grow those eggs that I had. They had to stop it fast so that I can actually be done that procedure to drain the cyst that I had. So they drained this cyst, and then after draining the cyst immediately, and then plus time for me, I had only 30 days. I had taken 30 days leave from my work, and these 30 days, I needed to do everything within these 30 days so that I can head back to work, and then I can like sort of resign. So and I was to resign only after I tested positive for my pregnancy. That is exactly what I had planned. So they did this procedure, and then straight away, because I remember when after they tested, they found out that I had this whatnot. They had to wait 5 days to do this procedure where they are now draining this cyst. Remember, now I have only 25 days left. After these 5 days were already delayed. Then I had steams. I had to be injected for 12 good days. So 5 days from 12 and 12 days, those are 17 days. And then after these injections, after being injected, now the procedure had taken, these 5 days were already wasted. Remember? Because I was still waiting in my hotel room for this cyst to sort of burst and all this nonsense. And I was really upset. When you're going through IVF, you don't need stress. And I was already stressed over this. So after they did this procedure, I had to wait. Then straight away, after waiting for 5 days, I have to go back. They checked, there was nothing. So start injecting. Injection went for 12 days. Usually it only goes for like 10 days maximum. But for me, my eggs were not growing at a rapid pace that they wanted them to grow. So they were kept upping my dose. So because the dose that they initially written for me was low, so they actually gave me the highest dose of gonorrhea, this injection that you are injecting in your tummy. Then after that, why is my phone? It's downstairs. After those 12 days of injection, they checked me, and now they did what? They did harvesting. They harvested my eggs. After harvesting my eggs, now they took it to the lab. Now this is where now whomever sperm I chose, because they have picture profile of the sperm donors, whomever sperm I chose, they used it to inject my eggs, and then now they were growing my embryos in the laboratories. So every time after they already collected my eggs, I was sent back. Now I was in the hotel room. So every time the doctor was always WhatsApping me and sending me the pictures of the progress of my embryos. And it was dividing nicely. Remember, it needs to divide into cells, different cells. And the cells have to be up to nine cells. Like it's dividing, and you see like little bubbles and cells. If you count them, they have to go up to 8 cells. That is now, it's when you want, they can actually, usually they go up to day 5. But because my time had gone, I only had day 3. So they had to, after day 3, my cells, the embryo cells had already divided. And now I couldn't wait for day 5, because if I waited, it was being announced that the airports were going to close because it was during COVID. So I rushed the doctors. The doctor told me that, listen, honestly, I cannot blame this doctor. The doctor told me, listen, you're so much in a hurry, and with your situation, ideally, you're not supposed to do your injections and all this, and removing eggs from your ovaries, from your nini, and taking to the lab, and then we put them after 3 days. He told me your ovaries will not have been ready to receive those embryos. Because remember, when you do all these injections for 12 days and all this, you punctured the cyst, and your ovaries are not okay. I mean, your uterus is not okay. Your uterus needs time to heal. It needs time to go back to its normal state. The hormones need to come back to their normal state, and then we need to freeze this your embryo so that you can come back for frozen transplant. Like there's fresh transplant and frozen. Like when they freeze your embryos and then they thaw them, then they put them back in. But the fresh transplant is when they don't have to freeze them. They just remove them from the lab straight away. They put them into your body. For me, I didn't want to imagine my babies remaining in Europe. Remember, there were 3. So I didn't want to imagine my embryos remaining in Europe. Okay? So for somebody who asked me if I'm barren is when you don't have eggs. You don't have eggs. There are people who are barren, they don't have eggs. They don't have periods. They don't have eggs. Even if they go through scan, they can't see eggs that even can produce a baby. But for me, I had eggs that developed nicely. But then after the doctor was like, you're so much in a hurry. I'm going to do it, but it's going to fail. It's going to fail. This cycle is going to fail. Your embryos are fine. They are dividing nicely, but your body is not ready to receive them. You need to go back. We freeze them. You pay for freezing fee. You come back later on for us to, or even we can send your embryos to another city where it will be easier for you to access them rather than coming all the way here. So I had gone to, where is this country? Not Czech Republic. Is it Czech Republic? No, I forgot which country was this. Is it the Czech Republic? I think it was the Czech Republic. So they told me we can actually transfer your embryos elsewhere where your airline flies to, so that you can just go on a flight, bid a flight, get that flight, and then go straight to this clinic and get your embryos to be transferred to you. So you can do it other. Then I said, it was being announced that there's going to be lockdown. I didn't know until when they were gonna do this lockdown. So I was not ready to just let my because also, guys, before you go for IVF, before somebody goes for IVF, I feel like you need to actually be very educated over this kind of things. Because for me, I was so ignorant. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I was just going. I was not even ready to listen to the doctor. I was going through my own might. I was just like, just let's get over it. It's like I was just throwing the money down the drain. So when the doctor put my embryos in, he put all 3 of them because again, they just knew that it's not gonna work anyway. Because even during the time that they were doing the embryo, my cervix refused to open. So I was already on the table, and they already brought the embryos with that long thin thing. They're supposed to get them through my cervix. The cervix was not opening. So it was a lot of drama. It was just a sign that it was never gonna work anyway. So after that, I just like they put them even after, and I remember the day they were putting my embryos. They were really trying to open my uterus to an extent. I bled. My uterus was my cervix was bleeding, and cervix is not supposed to bleed. It's not supposed to bleed during transfer. If it bleeds, the entire cycle is going to fail. So it was bleeding to an extent I had to put on like a pad. So I asked the doctor, is everything gonna be okay? But because even her, she was tired with me. She was just tired because I was also stubborn. She just told me, everything is gonna be okay. So I went, and then I was also given this injection, this hormonal injection, progesterone in oil that I was supposed to warm up under my armpit, and I was supposed to inject myself. And all this time I was injecting myself for 10 to 14, 2 weeks. It was after like 2 weeks, that is when I needed to do the test of my pregnancy. All these 2 weeks I was injecting myself. Don't ask me how I was injecting myself, because I had this anesthetic solution that I was always putting on my hair every time I want to inject. So I just put on cotton pad and then I let it rest there for a couple of times, for a couple of minutes, and then when I inject, I feel nothing. So it's good that I bought that anesthetic solution, and it was always helping me with my all my injections. I didn't feel any needles when I was injecting myself. So I injected for 14 days, and then I remember very vividly, I will never forget. The day I was supposed to check for my the day I'm checking for the pregnancy is the day I was called into the office. It is the day I was laid off from my job. So imagine I'm mourning the failed embryo, the failed IVF. I'm also mourning the fact that I was laid off. I'm also mourning, it was such a mess for me. So for somebody, I know that question and that answer has gotten it is a long answer, but at least I have given you. Let me read from you. It is good conversation. Somebody says, say to me, if I'm barren, obviously, according to me, I'm not. If he has kids, what's the big deal? That is the question. So this surrogacy is tricky because I don't want him going out there. It's either he's with me or he's not with me. As in, why? Why would he need a baby? He has babies already. Why would he need a baby? It's either, if he wants a baby so bad, it's either it's with me or not with me, or he has it there. So why would to me, it just doesn't make sense. And somebody else asked me to go with my ads. Many babies need a warm mom. Somebody is saying, "Soul sister, I see you." Lois is saying, "Happy Easter." Hi, Kimi. We meet again, dear. All right. Eunice, she is saying facts. Okay. Blessed believer say go for a newborn, or there's about like Madonna adopt. For me, I'm just gonna go with for a child between 6 months to 1 year. Someone is saying the only solution for you is adoption. It's normal. It's all over the world. Exactly, Lois. Mm-hmm. A lot of white people came to Africa to adopt. There are actually a lot of children in the orphanage that needs homes, so I'm open to doing adoptions. Once you adopt, you will not look back. Okay, 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 okay. Yes, this topic is very important. Yes, she really needs some advice to save her marriage. There is no saving my marriage. Come on. There is no saving my marriage. Guys, there is something that you guys don't understand. I understand that, like, for example, someone like me, someone would want to have a baby with me because I don't want to sound controversial, but I have an asset. So somebody would want to sort of something to like sort of not really somebody. I'm just saying that people are telling me you need a child to so that you can have someone to inherit your wealth or to inherit your things. People tell me that all the time. But for me, I'm not God. You don't know, even if for example, somebody is the only you I you the owner of the property is the one who knows whom she is going to write her will to. I might have a child or not even end up writing my will on my child because I don't want them to grow up being entitled, knowing that they have a house and they cannot work hard, they have a will already written on them and la la la. No, I can decide even to write a will to whoever I choose. You know what I mean? So I don't understand when people are telling me have a child so that you can leave wealth, leave your property, leave whatnot to your child. I really don't understand that. So And also, even you, if you choose to adopt a child, that is your child as well. You can choose to to for that child to inherit whatever you have. You know, you can you can choose, or you can choose not to. It's up to you, to be honest. This thing has broken. Why is this thing's breaking nowadays like this? This thing just broke. He gave me something that was already broken. So let me read again from from somebody else. How how do you know if you are not fertile, especially when you've had unprotected sex for a period and still not get pregnant? Also, sometimes when you are miss your period and you think you're pregnant. Uh-huh. Saran risings. How do you know if you're not fertile? Especially, yeah, because my fertility window has passed. So I'm not fertile. I'm not fertile because my fertility window has passed. But it passed before I got a chance to have babies. I didn't start when I was younger. So that is the reason why I'm not fertile now. If I started when I was younger and didn't get pregnant, I would say, well, I'm barren. But for me, I don't call myself barren because I never even started, you know, I never started trying to have a baby until I was in my late 30s, almost 40. So I wouldn't really say that, Anyway, you guys can just term it whatever you want. Even if you want to term it that I can't have, I'm infertile, I'm barren, whatnot. But to me, using the word barren is quite rude, because when you go and actually Google what does barren mean, barren is like a desert that produces nothing, like a desert, a desert that is dry. I'm not dry. I am not a desert. I'm a human being. So that is not something that you can only call somebody barren if you hate them. For me, that is a very derogative term and a very rude, that nobody should be called that. Even if they can't have a child, they don't deserve to be called that. Even if I say it in my language, it's even more bad. But anyway, human being will call you whatever they feel like they want. So even some people call someone, like, for example, if you had miscarriage, or if you buried a child, they call some people are rude enough to even call you mom to a dead child. Mom to, why don't you just call her by the name of that child? Why do you have to say mom to a dead child? That is being rude. So there are people who are just so rude and condescending and very insensitive. So I understand people are just like that. I'm 41 and trying to conceive. I'm praying for you. So be smart, Canada. You are 41. You're trying to conceive. Have you checked your AMH level? Have you checked your AMH level? Because it depends with your AMH. If your AMH is good, you can still conceive. But if your AMH is low, then hope is like, anyway. Then it's menopause periods. Let's hope that your hubby will understand. Yeah, I still have my periods. I'm not yet in menopause. My hubby will understand. He have no choice. It's either he understands or he's out. He has no choice, because it's like we are both adults. Like, you have to have that type of conversation. And then why would he understand? Yet he have children already from previous relationship. So it's up to him. If he decides not to understand, I will really totally also understand him that he doesn't. That is not what he wants for himself. I will not force it. I don't force issues. So yeah. Uh-huh. So you are honest with him from the get go. your fertility situation, and he said he was okay since he already have kids. He should not go back on what he said. Exactly. So I feel like it's more of you need an heir. You need someone to inherit your things. You need an heir. I feel like that is it's more of. And I feel like also it feels like a marriage is solidified when a child is in it. That is exactly what it feels like, you know. But I already told him, even before we got married, I already told him the situation. And he still boarded and went ahead with it. So there's no miracle that is going to happen for this chick, this babe to get pregnant. There is no miracle. It's not happening. Mm. I'm not taking any contraceptive. I'm not doing anything, but it's just not happening because I'm past my fertility age. I don't force issues. So, let me read from you. Lois, praying for their marriage. Personally, I don't see adoption as a bad choice. The hubby has kids. Ruby is a strict Christian. I don't think she'd be comfortable with traditional surrogating thing. No. Why would I? No. And I'm sure if I tell my husband go ahead, he would do it. But me, no. If he does it, he goes with that child together with that woman. That's just me. I'm strict. I'm strict. What do I do? That's just me. Eh? Mhm. Also, have in mind the heavy periods that last between 5 to 6 days. I don't have heavy periods. My periods is always lasting 4 days maximum. It's quite normal over here. Good morning, long time. I get it now. That is quite expensive procedure. How does the process of adoption in Kenya? So the process of adoption is I'm yet to go to the adoption agency to pick up the forms. I fill the forms and then I will have to attach whichever documents they are asking. Basically, they are just asking for my proof of funds, police report, my criminal history report. Uh, what else? They're also asking for pictures of me and my partner. And after that, they just come home to see the house and to see if the baby will be coming into a good home. And then after that, they go and sit down and see where and also where is the child. Like they find out in which orphanage that child is situated. Then they start doing the matching process. Could take up to 6 months, up to a year. It just depends. But then when you go to submit all the documents, I think a there's some money that you need to give them. Yeah. Uh-huh. Kenya won't be foreigners ati. Kenya won't let foreigners buy land, much less to adopt its people. No, foreigners buy land in Kenya all the time. Also, I don't know, I'm not sure about letting the foreigners adopt, but I know that they buy land all the time. So CJ is saying it's confusing. So what's confusing? I'm rewinding the conversation about adoption and setting your husband free if he really wants a biological child. I must say I 100% agree with you, Ruby. Just Debs. Of course, if it's important for him, if the marriage is not important for him without a child in it, biological child in it, then he has to choose his struggles. It's just as simple as that. But if you give him ultimatum and then he's like, okay, 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 I can't, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. I told him, me, I'm okay if you decide that that is a deal breaker for you. It's okay. And obviously, for me, if I divorce, I don't marry again. I would never do it again. No, that's enough for me. I've done it once, and I would never do it again. So that is exactly what I decided. If he choose that it's not for him, I'll totally understand. I'll let him go. I wish him well. And then, good on me. Me, I'll just stay by myself. It's fine. Absolutely fine. So, Soul Sister is saying sorry to me that I've been through a lot. Yeah, I don't think I'd need pity. It's just life, you know. It is what it is. It is what shapes us and what makes us who we are. So that is just part of my journey. I just thank God because, again, God wants you to be grateful in every circumstance. So I don't really complain over it. I don't cry over it. I'm very comfortable. It's fine. Because there are people who are in worse situation than me. There are people who wish to swap places with me. You know, there are people who are in the hospitals and they wish to swap places with me. Yet I'm here and I would sit and complain and moan and cry and la la and no, I'm not doing that. I take life one day at a time and I'm just grateful for where I am, for my journey. So that was too much for one person to go through. Sorry for that. Hope your hubby will understand. Just go for adoption. But you know, also, guys, you have to understand the language barrier. For me, I speak very good English. I love to really communicate deeply and have very deep conversations because I'm not really like really, 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 really good in having deep conversations in Swahili. And also, my husband wouldn't understand deep Swahili, even if you were to have deep conversations with him in Swahili. So the language barrier thing is also something that I don't like in my marriage, because sometimes you want to have. For me, I don't like small talks. I don't really like small talks. I like to have deep conversation. So again, I can't have that with my husband, because we can have conversations, but it's like not really like face value conversations, like just like, because I can't go deep. Because if I try to go deep, he's going to be lost in the Swahili. He doesn't understand. Even exactly this conversation that I'm having with you guys, I can't have these conversations with him because he would not understand. He would not comprehend. It will make him going to if he understood English, I would have really very much been glad to have this type of conversations with him, but he doesn't speak English. He doesn't understand very much. He understands here and there. I'm sure he's gonna watch this video and he's gonna understand a couple of things here and there, but not fully. And also, plus, if you send him to go to Google to maybe Google something, or even if you see something that you want him to learn about, you can't send him to Google because he wouldn't read it and understand. Because English is just not something that in Rwanda, even in schools, most of the time they teach in Rwandese. They teach in Kenya Rwanda. So, and plus, it's not easy, guys. So it's not a conversation that I would have with him. I told him a little bit about it. He doesn't understand the entire scenario. They don't really understand this entire infertility thing. To him, it's just like it will happen. I tell him law of area reserve. What is that? It will happen. Okay, you tell him, maybe if I go through menopause, what happens? Because now I'm older. He's like, what? It will happen. You look young. You are young. Your skin is good. You're young. Blah blah blah. You no menopause for you. It will happen. It is so annoying, but that's just how he is. Like it's very traditional. Like it's just gonna happen. He doesn't understand the medical aspect of it, or even the fertility part of it. They don't really get it. He doesn't even understand the safe days. He doesn't understand the ovulation days. He doesn't understand all that. He just knows that you're supposed to, when you want to get pregnant, you're supposed to do it every single day, 7 days a week, like even a whole year. You're supposed to do it every day for you to get pregnant. That is exactly, he doesn't know that there are days that you can, days that you cannot. Even if you're having with him such conversation, you're just shaking your head and you're just like, what is that? Like, what are you even saying? Eh? Oh my goodness. The only time he knows that you cannot have is when you have your periods. There he's just like, no, no, no. It's there, he cannot even pay attention to you. Wait until you finish. Hey, from there onwards, go for it, go for it, go for it. Trying to have a baby, go for it, go for it, go for it, go for it. Okay. After you finish ovulating, go for it, go for it, go for it, go for it, go for it. Go for it. He just knows that the only time that you can't get pregnant is when you are on your period. Then from then onwards until the end of the month, until when you again have your periods, you can get pregnant, according to him. That's all he knows. The foreigners adopt in Kenya a lot. My colleague who is a foreigner has adopted 2 kids so far, and they are doing amazing. Are they living outside Kenya or are they in Kenya? So sorry, Ruby, for all you had to go through. All is going to be well, and may God be with you all through your adoption. Mhm. Where are your hubby kids? Do you bond with them? No, they are with their parents. They are with their mom. My hubby's kids are with their mother. I went to Rwanda and I met them. I also met their mother. So that's all I know. I don't bond with them because they are not here in Kenya. If they were in Kenya, they could be even coming to my house, living with me. I have no problem with that. But because they don't live in Kenya, I, even only when I go to Rwanda, I can see them. Yeah. Thank you for the answer. What is the person uh-huh, going through his 30s old? This 30s old. Ati, what is the person going through this 30 years old? 30 also a complete to have kids. Yeah, when you are 30, that is the, just don't go past 35. Don't, like, you are most fertile when you are below 35. You are 35 and below. That is your fertility window is good when you are 35 and below. Past 35 going onwards, you might have trouble conceiving, or you might, it depends, really. It depends with you. It varies from person to person. There are people who don't find difficulty in conceiving even if in their late 40s. There are people whom their biological clock shuts down even when they are 30. Even because there's somebody I know that her biological clock shut down in her 20s. Her biological shut down in her 20s. You can imagine. She stopped having her periods completely in her 20s until today. So she's gone through adoption. Now she has a baby girl. She's adopted a child just recently. And she's married. She has a very understanding husband, extremely understanding husband. So it just depends with the people that you marry. There are people who would never trade you for a child. They would never trade the marriage for a child. They are there through thick and thin, just the same way they say through thick and thin, through, like, for better, for worse. Even if you don't, like, a child would not be a deal breaker. There are people who they mean it when they actually say for better, for worse. You know? So even if it is adoption, they go through it. And they wouldn't even cheat outside. Believe it or not, there are men who don't even cheat on their wives, who don't even go searching for women to impregnate out there. after they are married to their wife that they claim they love. There are men who just don't do it. But there are people who just, it's such a big deal to them. If you can't conceive, you can't. I agree with you on everything you say. CJ is asking me, how do you test? You have to go to a fertility clinic to test. You have to go to a fertility clinic. They have all the tests that you need to do. Just go there and test, and they will find out. Just go to fertility clinic, go and test. You'll find out. What else? There, there is people with low AMH that got pregnant. It depends on how low. How low? When it is non-detectable, that is too low. Like it's not even detectable. It's 0.0 something. That is too low. Too low. That is like undetectable. They have a range. Normal range, low range, like normal, medium, low, too low. I think they are on Google. Just go and check the AMH chart. Then you will find out exactly what is. People with the lowest, low AMH, like the undetectable AMH, they don't get pregnant. And for me, they really ran down so rapidly. My AMH just ran down so rapidly. Mm. Because I told you, like, less than 4 years ago, I was having 1.23, and now I have non-detectable. They were already low at 1.23. They were already low, and now I don't know. I have to put on that fan because I don't want to. The ring light is making me hot, and I don't want to remove this jacket. Let me again read from you. The doctors are not God. Okay, that is your opinion. But he has two children to inherit his things. And then inheriting, what things are we talking about? Just debts. What things? You can inherit, like for example, if you have a home, if a home is yours and you have a home, you'd want a child to inherit that home one day. Mm. If you have an asset, of course, we are talking about asset. We are not talking about at what things. We have an asset that have value in millions. That is what exactly we are talking about when that is what we mean when we are talking about inheriting an asset like a home, a car, money in the bank. Those are assets. I support you, but it's possible to still get pregnant. It happens all the time. I want to hear somebody who got pregnant with an AMH of non-detectable. Janet Jackson, you can never believe that these people got pregnant from their own eggs. You can never believe these celebrities. You celebrities usually buy even donor eggs, and they don't come and tell you. Think even if I got pregnant now with a donor egg, you think I'm gonna come to you and tell you the egg was from a donor? So you'll just see my tummy growing, and you wouldn't know if it's my egg or a donor egg. Why should you get through all tell everybody your business? Hmm? Your business about if the egg is donor or eh, all these celebrities. You cannot emulate these celebrities. You cannot wait until it's too late saying so and so was 50 when they have a child. Your story might not be the same the other person's story. Hmm? Faye, YouTube has already has filtered your comment, but I'm going to show it because it's not bad. You're saying the person who wipe your butt when you can't will inherit my property. Yes, you have to see people's character around you for them to even be eligible to inherit your things. Even if I have a child and my child will be like rude, condescending, and not helpful, you think I would put my asset on them if they are not of help to me? No. There is a reward. Reward. There is good karma and bad karma. It depends on how you are with people. I agree with you because living with someone who has a secret desire looks like hell to me. I would also let them go. But I think you guys together, but I like you guys together, so I hope it works out. Let me tell you something. My husband is not hell bent on having a kid. Actually, the question he only asked me if it is okay, if we can have it through surrogate. And then I told him for me it's better adoption. We were just having that conversation because he was asking me if you have to go through adoption, why don't we try surrogate? Then then I have to tell him, is it natural you want to go through with surrogate naturally or through IVF? It is so expensive, and with me naturally you can't do that while with me. You can't just go and naturally have pregnancy with someone else while with me. If you have priority is have to have a child, is you just either end the union and go and have a kid. That's it. That is the conversation. But to him, he's not like I have to have. If I don't have, I don't stay. No, it's not like that. It's not like that. Because he's got it too good with me, to be honest. Let me just tell you, to be honest. Finding a woman like me is not easy here in Kenya. I have removed a lot of stress from for him. He doesn't have to worry about a lot of things. So he cannot give that up over a baby. I don't think so. But even if he choose to give that up over a baby, I will totally understand. I will not speak for him. But according to him, the him that I know that he would not give it up for that. He would settle for the babies that he already have. So Kimi Klaus is asking me, have you included his children in your fold? Asking, maybe I missed it. What do you mean by that? Have you included his children in your fold? What do you mean by fold? Hmm? What do you mean by that? Mercy M is asking me, what is his diet? Mukombero? All the energy. No, he's young. He's young, is energetic. He's energetic. He would go. He would be at it every day, 7 days a week, Monday to Monday, if you allow him. He would go all day, another day, all day, if you allow him. That's the advantage of and disadvantage of marrying a younger man. So you are saying I'm hilarious? Of course. If we are on live and we don't make things hilarious, you would not enjoy this life. Your attention span would have gone already. You would have gone to click elsewhere. So it's good for us to have fun while talking about these topics. Check if he says it's all political. Rwanda wants to conquer East Africa. Ruby, check if he stays. Ruby, check if he stays. It's all political. Rwanda wants to conquer East Africa. Sarah, what's that? What's that about? What do you mean, man? Have they come to conquer us and to conquer and to take all our assets? These people cannot be trusted. These Rwandese people. Ndapwa is telling me to go for adoption. I'm going. Actually, I need to set time. I was supposed to go this last week, the ended week, but I didn't go. But now, oh man, yesterday I was so sad. So this lady whom I'm telling you that I know her and she's adopted a baby girl. Oh my god, she's adopted the cutest little girl. Oh my goodness. She's so a buju. That baby is absolutely adorable beyond words. So you see that baby, she's same my skin complexion, a light skin baby with a little bit. She have two little tooth, and she have little face, and she's just so absolutely beautiful. And yesterday, her mom came for me to pierce her ears in my workplace. Her name is Poppy. So her mom is the one who gave her that name. So I pierced her ear and I did it not right, and I beat myself the entire night. So I did this side right, the hole was in the perfect place, but this side I did it wrong, and the hole, it went very wrong, man. And I did the first one, she did not cry. It was a shock value. The other one, she was crying, but I did it wrongly, and I was really beating up myself the entire night, and I was feeling like her mom. Actually, I need to call her. Perhaps they've come out of work. I need to call her and find out venye alifanya. Oh, I feel so bad. I felt so bad I couldn't sleep. I felt like, oh my God, why did I do that? But anyway, I told her. Let me call her. Why I don't have money in my phone to buy credit? Let me see how much money I have here. Let me buy credit. Let me call my husband and tell him to buy for me credit. Please buy for me credit.
Up to 25 shillings of Okoa Chap Chap to continue with your call. To proceed, please press 0.
Mbona iendi? Hello. Ninunulie minutes. Eh. Mi nitumie ninunue minutes. Ebu nisikie venye unasema aje?
Love you,
Ati hebu sema tena nisikie.
my wife.
Sema venye umesema nisikie.
Babe, nakupenda sana. I love you.
Ulinichokoza. Unafaa kusema pole 100 times.
Pole my wife, nakupenda sana.
Sawa, nakupenda pia. Aya, wewe ninunulie mimi mapenzi za mdomo sitaki. Mimi sipendi mapenzi za mdomo. Ninunulie credit. Ninunulie sahi na kuna mtu nataka kupigia. So, guys, can you hear me? Can you hear me? These so-called people bore me. So, I want to buy credit so that I can call this lady and I want to ask her, how did the baby's ear go? Maybe I told her to wait until when she settles so she can remove it so that it can seal up so that she will come and then we will redo it again. So I need to call her. But I was really beating up myself. So I'm waiting for that credit. So where was I reading? The person who I went there. So yeah, you said go for adoption. Yes, we are going for I'm going for adoption. Actually, this morning after the fight, we had a fight. When did we have a fight? We had a fight last time when? A couple of days ago. Yesterday I was still upset. This morning I was still upset. Then he told me that that we can go. He said we can go and proceed with the starting this adoption thingy. Yeah. Faye is saying Americans freeze their eggs when they are young. Exactly. They usually freeze them. They have enough money to keep their eggs so that they can have babies later. Someone is saying that people get pregnant even without a womb. I know of the two ladies. One of them coincidentally was assisted by the exact same dog who removed her womb. She got 5 kids now. I don't believe it. If a womb was removed, where were those babies conceived at? Which womb? What? Come on. Even science does not support that. How can you have a baby without a womb? How? It's like saying a man will have a baby, yet they don't have a womb. If you don't have a womb, how do you have a baby? Where will be the gestation that baby gestate? In where? In your knee? No, that is impossible. If the womb was removed, unless that doctor did not remove that womb, there's no way a womb can be removed and then someone will conceive. Where will you conceive at? With where? And babies are conceived in the womb. I don't believe that, honestly. So Mercy is asking me, do you think he'll have pressure from his family in Rwanda to have a child with you? Because sometimes African traditions and culture might interfere in both your lives. I don't know. I don't know honestly. I don't know if it will interfere. I didn't ask him, but I'm sure the parents usually ask about the baby. I know they usually ask about the baby, especially the dad. The mom is very mellow. The mom usually don't bother me, but the dad, they don't bother me actually. His parents are not bad people at all. Ati? Why do they say that? Sorry guys, I'm buying airtime. So let me try and call her. Call the lady. Give me 1 minute. Mamake, habari? Ulifanya aje na masikio ya Popi? Mm. Ametoa? Amejitolea, lakini ako kengine bado kako. Mm. Mm. Lakini ako kengine hiyo side ingine au kutoa iko tu sawa? Okay, sawa. Wacha akipona atakuja akitulia atakuja tumweke hiyo ingine. Sawa, asante. Haya. Haya, thanks, bye. She has such a beautiful baby. Ooh. She has such a lovely baby. I was calling the mom because yesterday I was I was um I was actually piercing the baby's ears, and then it went bad. I wish, she was telling me that that baby was in an orphanage where it is managed by whites. European people are the ones who are managing that orphanage, and the children are very, very much trained. And the children, they have their routine. They are good with like the sleep pattern. The children are potty trained and they are good. So I was just thinking to myself, if I go through the same adoption agency, if these people direct me to the same orphanage, I'd be so glad, because at least the baby will have been trained and the baby will have good sleep pattern. Like this one, her baby, she usually sleeps uninterrupted at night. She doesn't wake up when she goes to bed. And then during daytime, every day she sleeps for 3 hours uninterrupted. And even at night, she told me that that baby, even if you put her in bed, she knows it's night time. She just goes to sleep with her bottle. She just sleeps and she doesn't fuss. She's a baby who never even cries. She's a very independent baby. She just plays and touches things and makes noise and plays and plays. And her development is so good. She's standing with things all over the place in the house. So she was just telling me that that baby is such a happy baby. She laughs a lot. She never, even she doesn't cry. She only cries when she's sick, even when, or she's hungry. But that baby is now like 9 months. She's 9 months. So she's such a good baby. So I'm just praying that even me, when my time comes that I adopt a very calm baby. A calm baby that does not cause me sleepless nights. So, what are you saying? Someone else is saying to go for adoption. Uh-huh. I don't believe. So about the family and traditions and whatnot. Since the thing is, we are at advantage because my husband already has kids from his previous relationships. He has 2 girls. So it's better for us because at least it's not like he has not seen any kid from him. It's not like he has not seen any kid. Now it's getting a bit colder. So he's good to go, you know. The only time the African people usually give you pressure is when you never even had even one child. But if I'm fine, I have not had and I'm fine, why should they be worried for me? It's okay. So you are asking, I know you have lots of assets your child can inherit, but does he have assets, Ruby? Respectfully. No, no, he doesn't. He doesn't have assets. And it's okay. He doesn't have to have. He have to work hard in the future to have, but even now he have to work hard. I encourage him all the time. He doesn't have an asset. And it's okay. We don't have the same milestones. Mhm. You love watching adoption videos on YouTube. Welcome to my, the guys. I don't know. I have this mentality. I don't know why I feel like this. I have this mentality that kids are supposed to be kept their innocence and to be kept private. I don't know why nowadays is when I have this thing of where children are supposed to be out of bound with internet. Especially, I got afraid because there's this lady. She was always showing off her kid, a very beautiful kid, on TikTok. I don't know if it was bad blood or bad eyes or what happened, and this kid got sick and succumbed. So I feel like kids. But here with YouTube, I'm afraid of TikTok, honestly, guys. TikTok is a very weird place. I'm really afraid of TikTok. So I don't want to become famous on TikTok. I don't want my videos to go viral on TikTok. I want to be behind the scene on TikTok because I have a very bad vibe about TikTok. But here on YouTube, I'm okay. I'm okay here on YouTube. Actually, even now on TikTok, I've gone private because of how afraid I am of TikTok. The kind of stories that I'm seeing on TikTok, no, 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 no. I'm not into it. But here on YouTube, I've been here for so long here on YouTube. But remember, even when I was in my work, when I was working, you guys never even saw me in my uniform. You never even saw anything regarding my work, yet I was working. So I kept it private until I stopped working. That is the only time I uploaded a video of me at work and in uniform. My last video of when I stopped flying. being a flight attendant. So even for this, with this adoption journey, I want to, also, long time, for you guys who've been watching me since long time ago, you understand that I used to be so, like, I used to be have a lot of mouth diarrhea. I used to talk everything. I was not filtering anything. But now I'm trying to strike a balance. I'm trying to, there are things that I don't have to say. There are things that, like, honestly, there are worse things that can happen even in marriages. And I don't just come to, for example, my husband, he doesn't like for his business to be out there like that, honestly. He's afraid, he doesn't like it because he's just a private person who doesn't like his business to be out there. And as somebody who's married to him, I have to respect that. So, long time, even if I got beef with someone, I would be coming and yelling. Even in the morning, I got beef with him. I could have just taken a camera while we are beefing, and I could have just come online and like air the entire situation online. That was me long time. But nowadays, I feel like I've really matured. I've really gotten into my wisdom, wise era, and now I don't really like bring all my business here. And I think I like it that way. So even with the adoption, it's about my journey. That is the reason why I'm okay documenting it. So I will document it. In fact, the day I'm going, I'm actually debating whether we should drive there or I should take a matatu. So I feel like if we have a car, why not use it to go there? So I feel like we might go there this week. I feel like we might go there. But then again, those papers, when I return them, I would love to return them when my sister is around so that he can sign them for me as like a guardian, somebody whom, if something happens to me, my sister can be a guardian to my child. Because I think you need to go with someone like that, someone who can stand for the kid if something happens to you, so that they can have signature. Guys, I have a student that I teach to do nails, and the student is the one who did these nails. These ones, you see those nails? The student did them, and also the student did this one. The student did this French for me. You see the feet? She did it for me. And I'm just admiring them because they look so good. So let me read. Continue reading for me. So G is telling me. Let me read. I think I'm gonna read from above. So it's also paramount to have a partner you are equally yoked communication wise, exposure wise, etc. Exactly. Uh-huh. I'm still young. God will remember me. Honey, I'm heading to 44. Excuse me. Accept and let it be. Accept and let it be. I'm going to read from you guys, all of you guys. So, D, I want to read from you because it's very interesting what you're saying. I feel like you married low. He is maybe scared that your adopted son or daughter will disinherit him, your house, and other benefits. Ruby, do you do? Adopt and build your own small family. Let me ask you something. He is a grown up with his hands and legs. Why would he inherit anything that comes from me? A man of his 2 hands and feet. Why would that happen? So, even if that is the case, that maybe he's afraid, the kid, la la la, and all that, why would it? I'm the one who's supposed to inherit his wealth, if there is any wealth. For me, no, it doesn't happen. It's not the other way around. So that is something that he cannot even put in his head, that is supposed to happen in case something happens to me. That is not something that is even supposed. I've even told him that that is not something that happens in my culture. It doesn't happen. So somebody cannot just be sitting around and lazing around and perhaps being very complacent, thinking, oh, me, my wife have this, my wife this, I have this, so I'm just gonna end it. No, it doesn't happen like that over here. I wouldn't allow such a thing. No. So that is my life at the end of the day. With this adoption, it's my decision, and I'm going to be fully responsible for this child. I'm going to be fully responsible. Saving money for his education, it's going to be a her because I'm adopting a baby girl. Saving money for her education, doing everything for her. So it's not going to be, of course, if he has money, I tell him, give me money. I want to do this and this for the child. I mean, I do it for him also when he needs something and he needs me to bail him out. I do it. So yeah, we are in partnership. So even if he needs to give me money to buy milk, a child wants milk, I tell him, yes, the baby wants milk. Come with milk home. Why not? Yeah, because he's the father. He's the one who's going to be in the birth certificate as the father. Yeah, he knows it. Because when you adopt a child, that child become legally yours. And they change a birth certificate. If at all that child had a birth certificate, they change it and you are the one who's going to be in that birth certificate. So that is just what happens. So Riara Lynn is saying the only person with human body spares is our creator. Go back to him for your facility spares, guys. Not everybody have the same faith you have. Not everybody have the same whatever, like spiritual standing as you, and it's okay. There are people who believe even if they have AIDS, they can be healed, and they stop taking medication. Some of them die. Some of them die in the process. So the reason why God put science is because science is science also. You cannot discredit science. You cannot, like, for example, somebody gets sick here and maybe to say, let's say, for example, co-joined twins. Like God had the opportunity to not have those kids be joined during conception. He had the opportunity to separate them, not joining them. So when these kids grow up and they are born through C-section and the mom gives birth to them, and now they need to be operated on. You don't say, oh God, you are the one who made the operation. God gave this doctor the ability to be able to. God used the doctor because God cannot come by himself to perform an operation. Yes, he's the one who's going to enable the operation to the doctors to have the knowledge and they have to be precise to make sure the operation becomes successful at the end of the day. But then also you have to also credit. Some things you have to like use common sense. You don't just sit and say, "Oh God will do it. God has done it. God." You have to put. Because let me tell you something. The worst thing that can you have to accept every situation in life. Because I tell you for sure, there are people. Not all of us were meant to have children, and that's okay. Not all of us were meant to be rich, and that's okay. God comes in different forms of blessings. God's blessings come in different forms. Maybe God has not blessed my womb, but He has blessed me in other ways. So I cannot let the fact that my womb is not blessed make me not see the other blessings that God has bestowed into my life. Maybe God made me the way I am, or made my womb not produce a child, because then it would enable me to be able to rescue a child that needs rescuing from the orphanage. You know, when Job in the Bible, remember Job, the story of Job. You know, he was given all those atrocities and all those troubles that he had in his life, unimaginable troubles. But he still refused to abandon God. He said, "Even though you do this to me, I will still trust you." My faith I've not been tested. My faith in God has not been like shaken just because my fertility window has closed. Because at the end of the day, I could have had kids earlier, but I sacrificed the opportunity to have kids earlier so that my siblings and they could be helped and they could be where they are today. God's miracles and blessings come in very many different ways. Have you ever asked yourself why the people who are now critically sick, who are in their deathbed, a lot of them who are believers, they still praise God? Despite them dying, they know they are dying, they've been given 2 weeks to live, but they still praise God. Because the worst thing that can happen to a human being is not death. That is not the worst thing that can happen to a human being. Even God knows that is not the worst thing that can happen to a human being. So, to you, because you are seeing it in your perspective, you might see I'm at a very unfortunate place. That is why you feel the need to preach to me and tell me you will get it, God will create for you, God will do this, God will do this. What if God has worked on me and has made me be okay with the circumstance? Hmm? Guys, you remember those days where we used to eat while cooking, make videos while eating? Can you grab something? Grab a popcorn. Let's have dinner. I'm having dinner. My dinner, antiochs. Are they called antiochs? They are called omena in my language. Some cabbage and ugali. It's so yummy. Hmm. So yummy. So, me, I have accepted my circumstance. Don't feel sorry for me. Don't preach for me. I've had it all. I've had a lot of people preaching for me, but it's not necessary. Please preach to people who need it. For me, I've settled and I'm mentally okay with the fact that I will not have a baby. It's okay. Biological baby. I don't watch I am married. Let me read from you. The lady who is called G, you are very much in the spirit. You have a big heart, adopt for your sake, and you make a life changing journey for a child who needs a warm home like yours. Thank you very much, Mama. I'll do that and I will document it. Just Debs, I don't watch Marwa. What happened of late? What happened of late to these Marwa people? The last time I was there, this lady had given birth, the wife. Are they even married, the girlfriend? Guys, nowadays I enjoy Kenyan meal too much. I enjoy ugali. Woo! So nice, and the way this lady knows how to cook ugali. Not hard, not soft, just medium. Anchovies. They are called anchovies. The small fish. Nowadays I don't watch an I am Marwa. What happened to these people, man? I can't be bothered. Nowadays I'm more into watching politics here in Kenya. Yeah, I used to watch them. But Roshio, woo, Roshio 8%. That's disgusting. Why would you do that? Those people are in a cult. Why would someone? But I know that they usually make capsules out of it. But for what? I don't know. That makes me feel so disgusted, yet I'm eating. Stem cells to cure disease. I know that umbilical cord, the thing that they usually cut when the baby is born, the thing that connects mom to the baby, I know that they usually preserve it in cryobank so that it helps with the stem cell. In case someone gets critically sick, they can use it to do transplant, stem cells transplant. Kourtney Kardashians also ate it. Hmm, I didn't know. Guys, did you watch Rachel To? She's called Rachel. You see the one who used to be with Henrik? Did you watch the wedding? What did you think about her wedding? I didn't watch all of it. I just watched people commentary, making commentary for the wedding. This video has gone for 2 good hours. Woo! 2 good hours, 30 minutes. Man, let me log off so that we can talk on the next video. Thank you guys for joining. Yes, our wedding was so lovely. Finally, she found a guy, and that guy seems like such a nice guy. His personality seems to rhyme with Rachel's personality. Like he's like a mellow, quiet, mellow, like soft guy. I think that is the right guy for her. Hey, congratulations to her. And she has really lost weight. She's lost weight. She's looking good, good, good. She's glowing. She's happy. It's good for her. Anyway, guys, see you on the next live. Bye.